Hello and welcome to the weekly tarot forecast for the Numinous week beginning December the 14th. I'm Lindsay Mack and the card that I've pulled for us this week is Eight of Cups. Our second 8 card in 3 weeks. We just got one 2 weeks ago with Eight of Wands. It's again just reiterating, we're transforming, we're changing, we're shifting. Eight of Cups is also the card that I got in my monthly medicine episode, my channel monthly medicine for my podcast as well. Eight of Cups, put very simply, is a great exodus. It's a mass exodus. It's a leaving behind of something that isn't meant to walk forward with us as we grow and change in the steps that we're taking. Eight of Cups can be conceptual. Maybe you've always had an idea of being a certain size or looking a certain way or having a certain kind of lover or having a lover, you know, whatever it is. And it's not that we give up on that. It's that we give up on the idea that this moment isn't enough, or that we're not meant to be, or that we don't want to pay attention to what we're asking to pay attention to. In other words, if the lover probably isn't the best example, but let's take the body piece. Leaving behind an old construct that isn't serving the whole of our being is a beautiful thing to walk away from in service of better. Because if the body is meant to shift, it will do so in a framework of love rather than one of judgment and difficulty. So the other thing about that is that Eight of Cups can have to do with relationships, although I don't find that that's always true. But I will say it anyway, that this is a card that if there are relationships in your life that are not serving you, not aligning with you, or if there's a pattern of relationships that is continually kind of the same thing over and over again, Eight of Cups will help you to leave it behind in this year so that as you walk forward, you're not taking it with you. Whenever we walk away from something in Eight of Cups, it is a leaving behind of something that we might feel like is too precious to leave. But in truth, we're leaving it behind for better than we ever thought we would ever get. Which is why this card, even though it is very famous for having to do with interpersonal relationships, I see it most often with jobs and structures and careers and like literal brick and mortars that it's time to leave. And by the way, if you have like a brick and mortar and you love it, this card isn't for you. So it's only when we know something is outdated, something's outworn. So it's important to really look. What are the structures in your life? And most importantly, anytime we're working with a Cups card, it doesn't actually have to do immediately with love as much as it has to do, of course, with emotions and intuition. So if we're working with a Cups card, we want to think about like, where am I emotionally really hooked right now? Like, am I really hooked around the idea of having this store, having this image, having this thing, seeing these many clients, seeing these little clients, you know, whatever it is. If you're really emotionally attached, it's worth exploring to see if you're ready for an upgrade of some kind. And if you find that you're really happy, that's great. But if you know in your heart it's time to walk away, please do so this week. Because, again, we don't want to take this stuff into our new year. The world really can't support it anymore. So if you're doing, walking, moving through, acting in a way that's not really serving your fullness of who you are as a soul on this path, in this earth, on this lifetime, be willing to set aside your fears and your ego and be willing to make a little room for there to be a leaving behind of something that you might have bled for. You might have like died for it. You might have worked harder than you've ever worked for in your life, and there still might be better beyond the horizon. This card asks us to take that leap and that risk, to trust ourselves. And by the way, if you have walked away from something recently and you're just beside yourself, like trying to trust it, you can trust it. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. So trust yourselves. Look at this week what's ready to be released and moved on from. in order to allow there to be room for something that's actually nourishing us to drop in. And that's what I have for you today. I will see you next time. Have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.